Welcome to section 16.5. This is the 169th session of the CISSP exam prep series. In this session, we'll cover how to secure the services you run in the cloud. We'll answer several questions. What are managed cloud services? Who owns security in each service model? What do the 4 deployment models change? What is anything as a service? How does scalability and elasticity differ? And what is serverless architecture? Why does this matter beyond the exam? Because more of your infrastructure lives on someone else's hardware every year. Picture a startup renting virtual servers, a retailer running its whole email suite in a browser, and a bank folding an outside security team into its defenses. Each one gains convenience, but hands over some control. Knowing exactly where your responsibility ends and the provider's begins is what keeps that trade-off from becoming a breach. So what are managed cloud services? They are computing resources you reach on demand from almost anywhere. These resources are highly available and scale easily, which is their whole appeal. You usually rent them from an outside provider, though you can also host a cloud on your own premises. The catch with renting is control. Resources outside your walls are outside your direct grip, which makes risk harder to manage. So encrypt everything sensitive, both in transit on the way up and at rest once stored. And here is a sharp exam point. You should hold your own encryption keys, not the vendor. That cuts out insider risk at the provider and lets you destroy data by simply erasing the keys. Who owns security in each service model? It depends on how much of the stack the vendor runs. With software as a service, you get a finished application in your browser, and the vendor maintains almost everything, though you still share responsibility for your configuration and your data. With platform as a service, the vendor supplies the platform, the operating system, and runtime, while you build, deploy, and manage your own applications on top. With infrastructure as a service, the vendor provides only the bare compute, storage, and networking, and you install and maintain the operating systems and everything above them. The rule is simple. The lower down the stack you rent, the more security work stays on your plate. What do the 4 deployment models change? They change who can use the cloud and who maintains it. A public cloud is open to any customer and run by an outside provider, where a service level agreement keeps quality in line. A private cloud serves a single organization, either self-hosted or rented for exclusive use, with maintenance split by the service model. A community cloud is shared by organizations with a common concern, like a shared mission or compliance need, and duties are shared by whoever hosts. A hybrid cloud binds 2 or more of these together so data and applications can move between them, again sharing maintenance by host and model. Think of housing. Public is an apartment building, private is your own house, community is a shared co-op, and hybrid is owning a home while renting a storage unit. What is anything as a service? It is the catch-all for any capability delivered over the cloud. Providers increasingly host new offerings in the cloud rather than on their own equipment because it unlocks rapid growth, scale, and availability. A big branch of this is security as a service, where protections like backup, authentication, anti-malware, and monitoring arrive as cloud services. You will also hear the terms managed service provider and managed security service provider. These are outside firms that remotely oversee and run your on-premises or cloud systems. Some general purpose, some specialized in one area, some focused on a single industry. How does scalability and elasticity differ? Both add capacity, but the how and the when set them apart. Scalability is your ceiling. It is the ability to handle more load by adding resources, usually as a planned manual step, like shutting a server down to install more memory. Elasticity is automatic and dynamic. The system adds and removes resources on its own as demand rises and falls, with no downtime. Picture a shopping site during a flash sale. Elasticity spins up extra memory and processors as the crowd floods in, then quietly releases them when the rush ends. Scalability is the bigger tank you install by hand. Elasticity is the tank that fills and drains itself. So what is serverless architecture? It is a model where you own only your code and the provider runs everything under it. There is still a physical server somewhere, but you never think about it. You just write the logic. Each function is built to run independently, much like a microservice, so the provider can scale each one on its own. The real win is cost. Unlike a platform that stays running and billing even while idle, a serverless function wakes only when called, does its job, and then stops. You will also hear this called function as a service. Think of a motion sensor light. It stays dark and free until someone walks by, then lights only for the moment it is needed. So let's bring it together. Managed cloud services trade some control for convenience. So encrypt everything and hold your own keys. The service model sets your security share, and the lower you rent, the more you own. The 4 deployment models decide who uses and maintains the cloud. Anything as a service pushes every capability into the cloud, including security itself. Scalability is manual headroom, while elasticity is automatic and on demand. And serverless lets you run pure code that costs nothing while idle. The MCQs covering all the topics and concepts from this session are available on RooCloud.com. Practice the chapter-specific MCQs before moving on to the next session. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or feedback, post a comment below or email us. I will see you in the next session.